Hey everyone, welcome back to Car Auto Tune-Up. When you first walk up to the 2026 Subaru Outback, it feels familiar yet undeniably different. Subaru has always had a knack for balancing utility with understated style, but this time they've leaned harder into the rugged, almost adventure vehicle look. There's more presence in person than pictures reveal. Even standing still, the body lines suggest motion and strength, like it's ready to head out on a camping trip or a cross-country road adventure. The designers clearly wanted to signal that the Outback is no longer just a raised wagon, it's an all-terrain family explorer. If we pause at the front, those split LED headlights are sharp, like narrowed eyes focusing down the trail ahead. The grille's bolder frame gives the vehicle more width visually, and the matte black or dark chrome finishes vary depending on trim. There's function as well as form. New air curtains guide airflow around the wheels to reduce turbulence and improve efficiency. Look lower, and you'll see the underbody skid plate speaking out, especially prominent on wilderness models, reminding you that this isn't a city-only crossover. It's engineered to take some hits from rocks and debris. For drivers who love night runs on dark highways or back roads, the adaptive LED headlights pivot with steering input, lighting up corners before you even arrive. Moving to the side, you start to see how Subaru has preserved the Outback's signature practicality. The window line is large, offering excellent visibility, something competitors often sacrifice in the name of style. The roof rails, a Subaru hallmark, are stronger than ever, and their built-in crossbars make mounting a bike rack, cargo box, or kayak quick and easy. For adventurers who camp in rooftop tents, the 800-pound static load rating gives peace of mind that the vehicle can handle the weight of gear and people overhead. Wheel options change the personality too. The base models keep a more subtle look, while the XT trims bring a sportier edge with 19-inch alloys, and the Wilderness goes full expedition mode with matte black 17-inch wheels wrapped in knobby all-terrain tires that give better grip on mud, sand, or snow. At the rear, the Outback continues its balance of function and style. The horizontal taillight bar stretches across the width, making the vehicle appear wider and more planted. The clever integrated ruler on the bumper is something you don't notice at first glance, but once you realize it's there, it's classic Subaru, quirky and useful. The hatch itself opens wide, and with the higher lift point, loading is easier. Families will appreciate the cargo floor redesign, which is flatter and offers multiple tied-down points. Subaru even added small hooks in underfloor compartments to keep smaller items from rolling around, a detail that reflects the brand's understanding of how its owners actually use their cars. Step inside and you'll notice how the cabin feels less like a Spartan utility vehicle and more like a well-rounded daily driver. The taller roofline translates into airier headroom for both front and rear passengers. Subaru says rear legroom has been slightly optimized too, making road trips more comfortable. The seats, described as low fatigue, are supportive without being overly firm, meaning you can drive for hours without feeling sore. They're mounted directly to the chassis, which gives more stability when the road gets rough. Material quality has taken a step forward, with soft touch surfaces on major contact points, copper accent stitching on Wilderness trims, and available Nappa leather on Touring XT. Subaru even thought about cleaning. Some trims use water-resistant StarTex upholstery, perfect for muddy dogs or post-tight gear. In front of the driver, the digital cluster is sharp and customizable, giving you the choice of a full map navigation view, sporty dials, or a simple minimalist setup if you prefer a less cluttered screen. The new 12.1-inch center display is faster than before, and because it runs Android Automotive, you get seamless Google Maps, Assistant, and even third-party apps directly integrated. Of course, Apple users aren't left out, with wireless CarPlay working smoothly. The best part? Subaru didn't ditch the knobs. Volume, tuning, climate temperature EO still accessible with physical controls. It's the perfect balance between modern tech and good old tactile usability. Under the hood, drive impressions tell the real story. The base 2.5-liter boxer engine is adequate for daily commuting, offering steady if not thrilling acceleration. Where it shines is in smoothness and predictability. It feels right at home in city traffic or cruising at highway speeds, thanks to its linear power delivery and Subaru's well-tuned CVT. Step up to the turbocharged 2.4-liter, though, and things get more exciting. With 260 horsepower and 277 pound-feet of torque, the Outback suddenly feels more muscular. Merging onto highways or climbing steep grades is no longer a chore, it's effortless. The CVT has been tuned to simulate gear steps under heavy throttle, making it feel less like a traditional CVT drone and more like a geared automatic. Off the pavement, the Outback continues to excel. The standard 8.7 inches of clearance is already among the best in its class, but the Wilderness with 9.5 inches is a game-changer. Imagine heading down a rocky fire road. The suspension soaks up hits that would rattle other crossovers, and the X-Mode system automatically adapts throttle response, transmission mapping, and all-wheel drive distribution to the terrain. In deep mud, it allows a bit of wheel spin to keep momentum in snow. It keeps power balanced for maximum grip. These are not gimmicks, and they're systems that have been tested in real environments, from icy backroads in Vermont to sandy trails in California. Towing capacity remains solid too. Models equipped with the turbo engine can tow up to 3,500 pounds, which means small boats, pop-up campers, or utility trailers are all fair game. For many outdoorsy families, that's more than enough capability. Combine that with Subaru's confidence and durability, and you've got a vehicle that can genuinely serve as a do-everything adventure companion. Fuel economy varies, with the naturally aspirated engine expected around the mid-20s combined, while the turbocharged versions land slightly lower but deliver significantly more power. Wilderness trims, with their higher ride height and knobby tires, take a minor efficiency hit, but owners buying the model are prioritizing adventure over maximizing MPG. Subaru has hinted that hybrid options may come later, but for 2026, buyers stick with the proven gasoline boxer engines. Price plays a huge role, and here Subaru has kept things relatively competitive. The base models start just under $35,000, which undercuts some rivals when you factor in standard all-wheel drive. Climb the trim ladder, and you quickly approach the upper 40s for a fully loaded Touring XT with every option checked. Wilderness models, sitting in the mid-40s, are priced fairly when you consider the off-road hardware they bring. Compared to rivals like the Toyota RAV4 Adventure, Honda Passport Trailsport, or even Jeep Cherokee Trailhawk, the Outback still comes across as one of the best value adventure vehicles in the market. Living with the Outback day-to-day is where it cements its reputation. Families will appreciate the roomy rear seats and wide-opening doors that make installing child seats easier. Dog owners love the low lift-over height into the cargo area. Tech-savvy drivers appreciate the quick infotainment system and standard suite of safety features. Adventurers find the roof rack and towing ability useful for gear, and commuters simply enjoy the comfortable ride and great outward visibility. It's also worth touching on Subaru's community and loyalty. Owners are famously devoted, often holding on to their cars for a decade or more. Subaru knows this, which is why they've taken care not to alienate longtime fans while still pushing the design forward. Some argue the Outback has drifted too far from its wagon roots. That's true in one sense: it's taller, squarer, and more SUV-like. But the essence is still there: practicality, ruggedness, and a sense of readiness for adventure. It's simply been updated for modern tastes and demands. And that's why we think the Outback will continue to be a favorite, not only among Subaru loyalists but also among new buyers who want a car that can keep up with every part of their lifestyle. So that's our deep dive on the 2026 Subaru Outback. If you enjoyed this review, make sure to like, subscribe, and let us know in the comments what you think of Subaru's new direction. Does it feel like the Outback you've always loved, or do you see it as something completely new? Thanks for tuning in to Car Auto Tune Up. We'll see you in the next review.